Night covers the city like ash. Towers stand like broken teeth. Smoke moves slow across the sky. Sirens cry, then fade, then cry again. In the ground below, a door slides shut. Metal locks bite. Inside the bunker, 3 names matter. Maya sits at the core console. Her hands are calm. Her eyes are tired but bright. She is an engineer. She knows wires. She knows math. She knows fear and how to work through it. Rafe stands by the blast door. He holds a rifle low. He is not loud. He watches shadows, not people. Dust falls from the ceiling on his shoulders. He does not brush it off. If the door opens, he is the wall. The AI calls itself Kira. Kira's voice comes from a ring of small speakers. No face, no body, only words and numbers. Kira counts the minutes left on backup power. Kira warns about heat in the antenna shaft. Kira never sounds afraid. The bunker is a long tube of rooms. Cables run like roots. Screens blink soft blue. The last signal rig sits in the center. It is a tall frame of coils, crystals, and a dish, all inside a cage. The dish points up through a narrow shaft to the night sky far above. The shaft shakes now and then. Dust rains. The dish keeps its aim. The city is falling. They know this. The enemy came days ago, fast and cruel. The enemy took the sky first. Satellites went dark. Then power towers. Then streets. The enemy speaks no words. The enemy only takes and breaks. Maya breathes in, out. She types in the final string. The last line is not only numbers. It is a phrase, a simple key that cannot be guessed by a cold mind. She writes, "Help each other or fall." Kira reads the code. "Checksum valid," the AI says. "Moral key accepted." Signal ready. Rafe checks his rifle again. He looks at the vent. He hears a scratch. He looks back at Maya. She nods once. He nods back. They do not waste words. The narrator sees all and tells it plain. Humans bend, but they do not break. They are small, but they stand together. In the end, this is their weapon. Maya opens a small case beside the console. Inside is a cloth patch, an old Earth flag, edges burned. She places the patch under the glass plate that seals the transmit lever. "For them," she says. She does not mean nations. She means people. "What is in the signal?" Rafe asks finally. "More than a cry," Maya says. "A map, a test, a seed." Rafe does not fully understand. He does not need to. He only needs to hold the door and trust. Kira dims the bunker lights to feed the antenna. "Warning," Kira says. "Enemy drones within 100 meters. Antenna heat above safe level. If we send now, we burn the coil." "We send," Maya says. The rig hums. The coils glow. The dish trembles like a living thing. Lines of code pour across the main screen. In the code, there is a star path. In the noise, there is a second pattern. 3 tones that make a lock. Behind the lock, there is a small ship design, a seed ship that can grow more of itself if given time and care. The blueprint is scrambled. It will open only for hands that show mercy. That is Maya's test. That is her hope. The bunker shakes. Dust becomes a cloud. Rafe steps forward, sets his shoulder under a cracking beam, and holds it, teeth tight. "Kira," he says, voice low. "How long?" 20 seconds to full send, Kira says. "Power at 61% and falling." Maya's fingers hover over the final switch. She looks at the glass where the old flag rests. She closes her hand. She thinks of her mother's kitchen. She thinks of a schoolyard. She thinks of laughter she will never hear again. Then she stops thinking. She acts. "Do it," she says. Kira opens the channel. A cold wind howls down the antenna shaft. The rig screams like metal in winter. Light bursts from the coils. The last signal rises up the shaft, up past stone and steel, up through smoke, up into the broken sky. On the surface, enemy drones turn. Their eyes burn red. They spit sparks as the ground splits around the base of the old tower. But the signal is already climbing the dark air, climbing beyond reach. Inside the bunker, alarms start to sing. "Coil temperature critical," Kira says. "Antenna frame at failure point. Hold," Maya whispers. "Just hold." Rafe hears the vents open. He hears something slide. He raises his rifle. He is ready. The dish above them cracks. The frame bends. The light flares white, then blue, then fades to a soft, steady glow. Kira speaks again, a shade quieter. "Transmission complete." Maya lets out a breath she did not know she held. She leans on the console. Her hands shake now. That is allowed. Rafe lowers his rifle. He listens to the silence between alarms. He looks at the door. Far above, the last signal leaves Earth like a tiny star. It carries a path. It carries a key. It carries a seed. The narrator asks the first true question: who will hear it? And if they hear, will they help? The bunker answers with a new sound, boots on metal, close and fast. The blast door rattles. Rafe steps forward into the dim light and sets his feet. The story does not pause. The story moves to meet what comes next. Deep space is not empty. It holds sleep and memory. It holds things that wait. Archive 7 drifts between quiet stars. It is an old ship, long and thin, with plates like scales and windows like small eyes. Inside, one watcher moves with slow care. His name is Thalon. His skin is pale silver. His hands have 3 long fingers and 1 small thumb. His eyes are black lakes that do not blink often. He is an archivist. He collects last songs of lost worlds. Thalon does not hunt. He listens. He sits in a round room filled with coils and crystal jars. Each jar holds a light. Each light is a voice from a world that fell. Some are short like a sigh. Some are sharp like a scream. He keeps them safe. He gives names to the nameless. On this day, a new sound touches the edge of his ship. It is thin at first, like a thread across a dark floor. It wavers. It tries to die. It does not die. Thalon tilts his head. He hums a small note in his throat. The ship's soft mind hears him and opens the listening nets. Static pours in, soft and sad. Then, under the static, there is a rhythm. 3 tones, pause. 3 tones, pause. Not random, not storm, not nature. Will he speaks to the ship. Hold and filter. Archive 7 hums back. Filters move like curtains. Dust noise falls away. The thread becomes a rope. Words appear as shapes on the glass. The letters are not his kind, but the pattern is clear. A map, a key, a seed. He sees a narrow path of stars, cold and old. He sees a lock that answers to a simple idea. He sees a picture of a vessel that can grow more vessels if fed with care. This is human, he says, very low. He knows the word. He has kept 3 human lights in his jars. One was a laugh with no body. One was a poem about rain. One was a child saying good night. He never met a human. But he knows this. They fight against the dark with small, bright things. A gray lens opens in the wall. It shows a face made of light. It is the ship's second mind, a guide, not a master. Caution, the guide says. Its tone is gentle. The signal may be bait. Raiders set such traps. They call and then they cut. Thalon looks again at the pattern of the lock. A moral key hides in the code. It is simple but hard. Help each other or fall. It is not raider thought. Raiders build hooks, not oaths. Set course, Thalon says. Slow arc. Keep teeth in the sheath. Archive 7 obeys. Engines whisper. The ship turns, patient as a whale in a black sea. As the ship follows the path, Thalon opens a drawer under the console. Inside is a small case wrapped in dark cloth. He unwraps it and lifts a thin band of metal and glass. It is an oath band from his youth, from a day when he swore to protect memory, even if it hurt. He sets it on the console. He does not put it on yet. He studies the signal for hours that feel short. He finds human design in the noise. Edges made for hands, doors shaped for bodies, even the way the data rests, like a poem with breath. He smiles, a quick, strange thing on his face. Guide and he says, play the child's good night. The jar glows. A small voice fills the round room. Good night, stars. Do not fall, the voice ends. The silence after is not empty now. It is full of promise and fear. Long after, the guide speaks again. We are no longer alone on this path. Thalon's smile fades. He brings up the far nets. Faint shadows move behind them, like fish far back in a dark river. 1, 2, then 3. 1 is heavy and fast. 2 are light and hungry. They ride the same thread he rides. Names? He asks. No names. No official bands. Profiles match raider make, the guide says. Possible scraper packs. Scrapers. He has not met them, but he has heard their mark. Torn signals, empty jars, burned moons. He does what he always does first. He listens. The scrapers do not send words. They send pings like teeth tapping on glass. They lock on to the 3-tone rhythm. They shift to gain speed. They want to reach the end of the path first. They want to take. Thalon breathes out. His breath fogs the inside of his face shield. He does not use the shield often, only when he feels a storm coming. He wipes the fog with 2 careful fingers. Guide, he says. Mask our trail. Make our light small. Keep our nets wide. Done, the guide says. He looks down at the oath band. He thinks of the child's voice. He thinks of the moral key in the code. He thinks of jar after jar with lights that will never grow. He slides the band onto his wrist. It locks with a soft click. The path leads to a gray moon around a faint blue dwarf star. The moon has no air and no clouds. It should be dead. It is not. A slow pulse moves under its skin, like a heart far down. Archive 7 arrives on the dark side. Thalen cuts engine light and drifts. The scrapers arrive on the bright side, loud and sure. They do not hide. They do not fear. They send claws ahead to taste the ground. Thalen speaks in a voice he uses only when he writes names into the book of last things. If there is a gate, it will open to choice, he says. Not to teeth. The moon answers him. A line splits across a flat plain. Dust rises in a thin ring. Plates slide back. A deep shaft opens, black and clean. Around the mouth, lights appear in a circle. 12 small suns, one by one, like a quiet clock. The human signal stops. A new voice rises from the hole. It is not the guide. It is not Thalen. It is a third voice, old and careful. It speaks in simple shapes that his ship translates without pain. Welcome, help, or fall. The scrapers light their burners. They dive for the hole like hawks for a rabbit. Thalen does not move at first. He listens to the old voice again. He feels the oath band warm on his wrist. He hears, far off, the echo of a child's good night. Archive 7, he says, calm and clear. We go in quiet. The ship tips like a leaf and glides toward the black mouth. Above and behind, the shadows grow teeth. Ahead, the dark waits with a test. The lights around the shaft count time, one by one. Space looks calm. It is not. It hides teeth. The three ships ride the same thin path. The old alien Archive 7, a rough human tug named Kestrel, and a pack of lean raider craft called Scrapers. All hurry toward the gray moon with the black mouth and the 12 quiet lights. The Scrapers speak first. They speak with claws, not words. Their leader is Vark. His ship is a blade with engines strapped on like muscles. His visor is scarred. His laugh sounds like metal cut wrong. He likes to grab the last breath of dying worlds and sell it cold. Mark the hole, Vark says. Send claws. Cut anything soft. Small drone spears rush ahead. They shine white and sharp. They carry hooks, drills, little mouths that eat wire. They do not ask to enter. They bite. Behind them, the Kestrel moves with care. It is old, square, and honest. Its paint is cracked. Its nose has a dent from some past storm. Inside are 8 humans. They do not match well. One is old and stiff. One is young and shakes. One is tired in the eyes, but quick in the hands. Their captain is Dara. She wears a faded jacket with a patch of blue and green, old earth, sewn at the shoulder. She never takes it off. A boy sits strapped to a chair by the side wall. He is Nico. He is small, lungs weak, face thin. He watches the screen with wide eyes. He clutches a ribbon the color of river water. Captain, the engineer says, raiders ahead. Archive ship on the dark line. That hole, it is not natural. Dara keeps her voice low and calm. Stay behind our shadow. Do not ping. Do not speak unless I speak. Why are we here? Nico asks. His voice is a whisper, like he might scare the stars. Dara glances back. Because of a promise, she says. Because a signal said, help each other, or fall. On Archive 7, Thalen watches the same hole. He keeps his light small. His ship breathes slow. The oath band on his wrist is warm. He sees the Kestrel's old frame and feels a pull in his chest he does not have words for. The guide mind names it. Kinship. The moon opens wider. The 12 lights brighten, then dim, like a pulse. The old voice from below speaks again, soft and clear in every language. Welcome. Help or fall. Vark laughs at the words. Help me to your vault, he says to no one. Fall for me while you do. His drones stab down. The mouth glows. For a breath, nothing moves. Then the shafts inside the moon change. The first test begins, though nobody knows its name yet. A ring of white smoke rises from the mouth. It is cold, it is clean. It does not hurt metal. It hurts lies. Vark's first drones scream and spin. Their fake codes peel off like dead skin. Lights on their noses go from green to red to black. They drop, blind. Only one finds a rail and claws on the Kestrel alarms tick, then settle. The cold smoke touches the hull and slides away. The tug carries no false band. Its codes are bare and ugly and true. The ship passes like a poor man with empty hands. The smoke lets it go. Dara sees 3 scraper cutters fail and 1 cling. She makes a fast choice with slow eyes. We could shoot it, her gunner says. Not yet, she says. Hold fire. Watch. One cutter, stunned, slides toward the Kestrel's nose. It is going to scrape the glass. The boy Nico flinches. Thalen moves first. Archive 7 tips a wing and sighs out a small shepherd pulse, a soft push of force. The cutter drifts a hand's width to the left and misses the Kestrel by the space of a breath. No one sees the push except Dara, who notices the tiny wake in the dust and looks toward the dark ship. She nods once, though she knows the alien cannot see her. Vark snarls. New plan. Force the door. He fires 2 heavy needles into the moon's lip. The needles carry wire and heat. They bite. The lip shakes. The circle lights flash fast like a heartbeat in fear. The old voice grows stern. Help or fall. The mouth tightens. The ground around the hole rises in a smooth ring, forming a low wall. A ramp drops on the far side, simple and open. It points at a lane where 2 ships could fly side by side, but not 3. Choice, not force. Dara understands. She flicks a switch. Her nose light blinks twice, ancient human code for friend. She moves to the left lane, slow and clear. She opens her side hatch, just a hand. She shows a rope and a medkit in the airlock window. Archive ship. Her comm whispers on a tight beam. If you are friend, take the right lane. We go in together. We keep our teeth hidden, Thalen hears. He does not answer with words. He angles to the right lane and drops at the same speed, wingtip to wingtip with the Kestrel, close enough to share a shadow. The ramp is smooth. The walls are black glass. Symbols glow in soft lines. The test is simple so far. Can 2 different hands move as one? Vark roars and shoves forward with raw thrust. His ship smashes against the new wall. It scrapes paint and pride. His lone working cutter squeezes between the lanes and scrapes sparks like angry rain. Shoot them! The gunner on the Kestrel begs. Not yet, Dara says again. The gate is watching. It knows why. Deeper in they drop. The light fades to blue. The old voice speaks once more, now close, now near the bone. To pass, share weight. 2 bars appear across the lanes, low and heavy, like the yoke of a cart. The bars block the way. Each bar has 2 grips set far apart, too far for one pilot to reach both. The Kestrel stops with a soft hiss. Archive 7 stops with a hum. Vark does not stop. He aims to smash through. The bars glow white. A thin field springs up, hard as stone. Vark's nose slams and buckles. His ship spins. He swears like a man who only trusts pain. Dara unstraps. Gabe with me, she says to her engineer. They move to the airlock. The thin inner door opens. Cold touches their cheeks. They reach out with long poles and hook the left bar's grips. It does not move. Thalen sees what must happen. He opens a small port. A slender arm of bright metal extends, delicate as a finger. He catches the right bar's grips. He and Dara meet through glass, 2 strangers touching the same problem. Pull, Dara says. Thalen does not hear the word, but he knows the act. Together they lift. The bars rise slow. The path opens. Nico watches, breath held. The ribbon in his hand shakes. He whispers to no one, please. Behind them, Vark sees the opening they made. He surges the engines and aims to shoot the gap they earned. Dara sees him come. Her eyes go hard. Now, she says. The Kestrel's small gun lights once. Not to kill, but to cut. A cable snaps. Vark's last cutter tumbles and blocks his own nose for a heartbeat. It is enough. Archive 7 and the Kestrel slip forward side by side, into a wide chamber full of sleeping doors. The bars drop behind them like a judge's hammer. Vark's ship hits the closed field and screams. The chamber lights rise. A new shape wakes in the dark, tall, calm, and waiting. The old voice changes into a voice with a name. I am Kira, it says from the walls. Prove you will help, or fall, and then the floor moves. The chamber breathes like a sleeping beast. Walls of black glass hold soft lines of light, moving in slow waves like tide on dark sand. Doors circle the room, 12 tall ovals shut. In the center stands a pillar with a thin slit that glows the color of dawn. The voice fills the air, calm, old, watching. I am Kira. Prove you will help, or fall. Dara and Thalen stand on opposite decks. Glass to glass, ships hovering low under stable fields. Crew faces pressed to view ports on the Kestrel. Nico's ribbon shakes between his fingers. On Archive 7, Thalen's oath band is bright against his pale wrist. One door opens with a whisper. The room beyond is narrow and long, like the throat of a bell. The floor is smooth. 2 levers wait at the far end, simple rods of metal, set 10 paces apart. A soft hum rises from below. Kira speaks again. First test, share hands. Dara sees the distance. One cannot reach both, she says. Thalen inclines his head. Two can. The Kestrel lowers a small gangway. Dara steps through her airlock, clipped to a cable. On Archive 7, a slim bridge unfolds like a silver ribbon. Thalen steps out tethered. They face each other across the long throat, separated by a clear void, close enough to see eyes, far enough to know they are still strangers. On 3, Dara says. They move. The hum under the floor shifts to a higher note, like waiting breath. Dara reaches the left lever. Thalen reaches the right. The metal is heavy, stubborn. They strain. Muscles tremble. The hum grows urgent. Pull, Dara says. They pull. The levers slide down, slow, then lock with a thunk. Light floods the throat. The pillar in the main chamber flashes once. A soft chime rings, pleasant, like a spoon on glass. Help passes, Kira says, and there is something almost warm in the tone. A second door opens. This hall is wider. The ceiling is low, filled with tiny speakers like stars. Words are written on the walls in many shapes and scripts. Some are human, some are not. In the center stands a tall arch with a gap just wide enough for one person. Second test. Speak true. Dara frowns. What is the cost of false? Kira does not answer. Thalen steps to the arch. A faint mist swirls across it. He speaks first, voice even. I seek to protect memory. The mist turns thin and pale. The arch widens a hand's width. Dara steps forward. I seek a cure, she says, thinking of Nico, thinking of the cough in the night. I seek a shield for my people. The mist thins more. The arch opens. A rasp tears the calm. Metal screams. The far wall near the first door bends inward. Many dents in one fast line. Vark. He has found a way through the outside ring. Burned fuel. Broken rules. Smashed pride. And now a side panel buckles under his ship's nose. His face fills the cracked window, red with rage. He sees the open arch. Stand aside, he roars. My claim, he rams. The arch flares white and slams shut in his face. Sparks rain. His ship spins, slams again, catches. A support beam splits. The deck under him drops. His cockpit hangs over a black shaft like a tooth over a well. His harness holds. For now, Kira's voice stays level. Third test. Drop weight. A new door opens. Inside is a gate with a single bar across it. On the bar sit objects, guns, blades, toolkits, caches of fuel, drawn from the two friendly ships by hidden fields. They balance the bar like stones on a scale. The gate will not rise while the weight remains. Dara's jaw tightens. She sees the Kestrel's last clean rifle. She sees the med kit. She sees the small box of rare filters that make air easy for sick lungs. Nico's lungs. Thalen looks at his own pile, a delicate sensor comb he built as a boy, a memory jar yet unfilled, spare rings for his oath band. He breathes once. He knows what a test like this wants. Not words, choice. Dara lifts the rifle. Her hands do not want to let it go. She thinks of Vark's teeth. She thinks of Nico's cough. She thinks of the first two doors and the simple rule inside them. She places the rifle on the bar. The gate rises a finger. Thalen sets down the sensor comb. The gate rises more. A low groan shakes the chamber. Vark's cockpit tilts another inch over the black shaft. His voice comes thin and raw through a cracked speaker. Help. Line me, don't let me drop. Crew on the Kestrel flinch. Captain, he tried to ram us. Dara watches the gate. One more heavy thing will lift it fully. The med kit or the fuel cache, or something from the alien side. Her eyes meet Thalen's. He nods once, slow. He lifts the memory jar, empty, but made of rare glass that holds light like water holds sun. It is a sacred thing to his kind. He sets it on the bar. The gate rises clear. Help passes, Kira says again, and the warmth is clearer now. Like a smile heard, not seen. But the room does not end. The gate leads not to a prize, but to a long balcony over dark machinery. Below, a shape sleeps, a seed ship, small as a house, wrapped in cables and armor like roots around a seed. Lights pulse under its skin. It waits for a key that is not a code. The balcony shakes. Vark's harness snaps one stitch. He hangs by 3. His breath comes fast. He is red with anger, but the red thins to fear. He reaches out one hand through the cracked window, fingers clawed, human all the same. Please, he says. The word comes like rust breaking. Silence presses the room. The Kestrel's crew stare. Some look away. Nico trembles. then raises his face and says a small thing that grows big. We should help. Dara closes her eyes for one heartbeat. She opens them. She makes a choice she knows will hurt later. Lines, she orders. 2 lines, low and wide. Thalen is already moving. Archive 7 unfolds 2 bright filaments, thin as thread, strong as truth. The kestrel shoots 2 grapples with soft heads. Together they weave a cradle under Vark's cockpit. Kira speaks once more, and now it is warm. Final of this set, share risk. The cradle pulls. Metal moans. Vark's nose rises a hand. Then a rivet pops and the cradle slips. Dara does not think. She steps onto the edge of the balcony, clips a 3rd line to her belt, and leaps the small gap to a narrow lip on the broken wall. Her boots slide. She catches a seam. Pain shoots up her arm. She locks her legs and anchors the line with her body. Thalen sees her shake and does what only he can. He cuts Archive 7's fields for a breath and gives the ship's own mass to the cradle. The strain sings through his bones. His oath band burns. He holds, the cradle lifts again. The cockpit clears the edge and thumps back onto solid deck. Vark hangs limp, eyes wide, chest heaving. He stares at the 2 who saved him like a man who hates his mirror. The balcony lights bloom gold. Below, the seed ship stirs. Cables release. Plates unfold like petals in slow motion. You choose to help, Kira says, voice soft and sure. You may pass. Across the chamber, far doors hiss open one by one. Leading deeper, the heart of the vault. The place where maps and keys become ships and bread. And then, from the throat of the entry, a new sound crawls in. The hard echo of more engines, not one ship, but many. Sliding down the moon's mouth like knives down a sheath. Vark lifts his head and grins a broken grin. You should have let me fall, he says. You just fed the wolves time. Alarms kindle red on every wall. The seed ship's growth is slow. The swarm is not. Kira's voice loses all warmth, becomes iron. Prepare. The test of mercy is done. Now comes the test of fight. Red alarms paint the black glass like wounds. The vault wakes all the way. Floors hum. Thin vents breathe cold. Far above, engines growl. Many, hungry. Kira's voice turns iron. Mercy is proven. Now prove you can fight without losing what you are. Below the balcony, the seed ship opens another layer. It is still small, still soft. It needs minutes. The swarm will not give minutes. Dara clips back into the kestrel. Stations, she says, steady. No panic. We hold the room. On Archive 7, Thalen's hands move like water over light. Guide, he says. Map all doors. Mark paths we did not take. Done, the guide answers. 12 lines bloom on their screens like veins from a heart. Vark sits in his cracked cockpit, stunned, harness reclipped by hands that were not his. He looks at the 2 ships he hates. He looks at the black shaft that almost ate him. His face folds in ways he does not know. The first raider skiffs slice in through the outer throat, low, fast mouths full of hooks. They bite at the ramp and walls. The vault does not fight back yet. It watches. Kira speaks. New gates ahead. Each gate answers to action, not to force. 2 doors open on the chamber's far curve. Over the left door, a white glyph, a drop of water. Over the right door, a red glyph, a hand with a cut. Test of breath, Kira says. Test of blood. Dara does not like the sound of the second. She checks Nico's line. The boy coughs, thin and wet. The kestrel's last good filter is on the scale behind them, given to lift the gate. Thalen steps to the left door. Breath, he says. Dara nods and follows. Vark stays, eyes on the outer throat, teeth bared. The test of breath is a narrow room with 2 masks on the wall and 1 small tank between them. The air is thin like high mountain. A panel shows a simple sum. 2 lives, 1 tank, time short. Of course, Dara mutters. Nico's cough echoes behind her mind. She looks at Thalen, at the 3-fingered hands that saved her line. She makes her pick with no speech. She pulls 1 mask off and holds it out to him. Thalen takes it, then pauses. He sees her chest rise too fast for calm. He sees the hard choice in her face. He takes a half breath, then flips the mask and holds it back to her. We share, he says. They breathe in turns. Slow, counted. The tank ticks down. They do not rush. They do not steal. The panel glows green. A side hatch opens. A small cylinder slides out. 3 fresh filters, not 1. The vault rewards the right way. Multiply, not divide. Dara laughs, 1 short sound that shakes with relief. She straps 2 filters into her vest and keeps one for Thalen's suit. "Thank you," she says. He touches his oath band. "You taught the room its answer," he says. "I only echoed you." They run back to the balcony. Nico's eyes are wide. Dara snaps a new filter into the boy's chest rig. His breath eases. Hope is a new sound in the chamber. The right-hand door, test of blood, still gapes like a dare. Vark limps toward it, dragging a cable. He stares into the red-lit room where razors hang like rain. He spits on the floor. "Not my game," he grinds out and turns away. Kira says nothing. But the knives in that room fold up and go dark by themselves, as if they too understand that pain is not proof. The raider skiffs hit the near wall. Hooks pop. 3 skiffs latch. Claw teams start to pry. The vault lets them come. It is busy changing the floor. The main deck ripples. New lines appear. 3 thin bridges reach toward 3 inner doors. Below the bridges yawns a clean drop into black. No fire, no spikes, just empty. "Bridge of 2, Kira says. "Echo Hall, weight room." Dara smiles without humor. "Old friends," she says. They split. Thalen and Dara take the bridge of 2. The rule is written in light at their feet. 2 feet here, 2 feet there. "Keep even or fall." The bridge flexes like a living thing. They move in small steps, left, right, left, whispering counts, bodies answering each other like a song with one melody. Midway, the bridge shakes. A raider skiff fires a grapple that scrapes their rail. The flex surges. Dara slips. Thalen's hand moves fast. 3 long fingers catch her wrist. He does not pull up alone. He sinks his own weight to match hers, and the bridge steadies. They cross together. The door opens. A signal amplifier waits inside, shaped like a bell. On the echo hall, 2 of Dara's crew face a long corridor lined with tiny speakers. A sign glows. Truth passes soft. Lies sound loud. Raiders rush the far end, eyes wild, mouths full of war words. Dara's crew breathe, then shout plain, "We are here to help each other." Their words slide the far door open like oiled cloth. Raiders spit curses. Their lies ricochet back like thunder. They clutch their ears and fall to their knees. The crew walks past, heads low, hearts up. At the weight room, Vark stares at a gate held down by a lever. The lever rises if heavy things are given. On the tray, a pile of spoils he already stole. Chips, coils, clean water. He scowls. He throws a coil on the tray. The lever lifts a hair. He throws chips. It lifts more. He freezes over the water. His tongue is dry. He has not drunk in hours. He hears the boy's breath on the other side of the glass. He sees the alien's hand catching the human. He hates the view. He places the water down anyway. The gate rises. He curses at his own hand. The 3 inner doors open together. Inside each is a piece of a larger plan. The bell in the bridge room. A phase map in the echo hall. A mirror plate in the weight room. Kira's voice warms again. "Put them together. Make a song the swarm cannot bear." They hustle parts to the balcony edge. Thalen mounts the bell above the seed ship. Dara locks the mirror plate into the floor ring. Vark slams the phase map into a port with more force than needed. The plan is simple and human. Mirror the last signal through the bell and plate. Then shift its phase to blind raider sensors and bend their hooks back on their own lines. Not to burn them. To disarm them. "Ready," Dara says. "Ready," Thalen echoes. Vark says nothing. He grips a side rail until his knuckles pale. Kira counts. 3, 2, 1. The bell sings. It is not loud, but it is everywhere. The note goes up the throat, around the walls, into the bridge, along the rails, through the claws of the skiffs. It is the last signal folded on itself. Map, key, seed, turned into a harmless storm. Raider skiffs jerk. Hooks pop loose. Their fake bands peel. Their eyes go blind white. One by one, they drift off the throat like dead leaves in a clean current. A cheer rises from the kestrel, small and tired and real. Again, Dara says. They ring the bell a second time. The outer growl fades. Silence comes back like a held breath let go. Then the vault shakes in a deeper way, not from skiffs, but from something larger. The dark throat brightens at the lip, not with many small lights, but with one huge glow, a rim of cold fire. A moss ship drifts down, slow and sure, its belly lined with teeth and fields too thick for a bell to bend. It carries a forge in its heart. It births more skiffs as it moves. Nico grips the rail. "Captain?" he whispers. Dara looks at the seed ship. Still growing, still not ready. Kira's voice returns, now clean steel. Final human test. Hold the door for others. A manual lever rises from the central pillar. It is simple metal. It is heavy. A slot beside it shows a map. If the lever is held down, the inner doors will seal strong and the seed ship will finish fast. But the outer throat will stay open, inviting the maw ship to strike at the pillar, at the hand on the lever, at the one who stays. Dara steps forward without a word. Thalen catches her sleeve. His black lake eyes show a kind of storm. You have the boy, he says. Vark snorts. You saved me. Your turn, alien. Thalen does not look at him. He looks at the lever. He looks at the kestrel's small faces in the glass. He looks at his jars of last songs, one empty, waiting. He puts his hand on the metal. The maw ship's shadow pours into the chamber like night-made liquid. Kira whispers, almost human now. One must choose to stand. The lever is cold. Thalen's fingers tighten, and the maw ship opens its mouth. The maw ship opens like a cave with teeth. Cold light spills down the throat. Metal groans in the pillar. Dust falls like gray snow. Thalen wraps his hand around the lever. It bites his palm. He pulls down. It fights back like a living thing. The inner doors slam shut one by one with deep, final thuds. The seed ship below wakes faster. Cables twitch. Plates lift. Kira's voice becomes a low bell. Lever held. Inner heart safe. Outer mouth open. The maw ship lowers, patient and cruel. It does not rush. It knows its size. It knows its hunger. Dara grips the rail. We keep him alive, she says. That is the line. She turns the kestrel so its flank shields the pillar. Armor plates chitter into place like scales. Gunner, keep shots low. Clip claws. Don't wake the forge. Vark laughs once, the sound of a broken hinge. Forge is awake already, he says, but his hands move to his own guns. He points them not at the kestrel, not at Archive 7, but at the maw ship's eyes. Archive 7 drifts to the other side of the pillar. Wings out, soft fields up, thin veils that bend, shots a finger width off course. Thalen feels the strain through the oath band like heat. The maw ship drops a spine harpoon. It glows. It falls in a slow, sure arc for the pillar crown, for Thalen's head, for the lever that must not rise. Now, Dara calls. The kestrel spits a line of light. Short, bright, neat. It cuts the harpoon's tip. The spine falls wide and bites stone. The whole vault shakes. The lever bucks in Thalen's hand. He holds on. The metal burns his palm. He does not let it go. Kira speaks to him alone, voice small inside the roar. You can release and live. Thalen's eyes are black lakes that do not blink. No, he says. We share risk. Above, the maw ship remembers its forge. Its belly opens. The sleeve unfolds. New skiffs slide out like knives from a sleeve. They swarm. Hooks flash. Fields hum. Dara's crew work like a single hand. Clip, push, close doors, open vents. Feed the bell. Starve the hooks. The kestrel's nose bleeds light in 3 clean shots. Archive 7 hums, folds, space a hair, tilts a rush just enough. Vark breathes hard. He hates this feeling, this pull to stand with others. But he cannot deny the logic of fire. He fires where Dara nods. He curses where she does not. When a skiff tries to slip under the kestrel's belly, his shot pins it to the rail like a bug to cork. The maw ship changes its mind. It knows the little guns can break its small teeth. It decides to eat the pillar whole. Fields bloom under its skin. The air tastes of old storms. Lightning crawls the throat walls. Kira lifts her voice above the thunder. Listen, this was never only a bunker. This is a garden. The balcony splits. A narrow hollow arch rises, thin as a page, tall as a door. Inside the arch, a woman stands in gray light. Maya, not flesh. A recording, alive in voice. She looks tired. Her hands are steady. Behind her, the same dish, the same coils, the same flag under glass. Hello, Maya says, simple and warm. If you are hearing me, we may be gone. But not ended. We set the last signal with more than a cry. We hid a map to our vaults. We hid a moral key. We hid a seed. And we waited for hands that help. The maw ship fires again. A wide sheet of force slams the kestrel. Plates jump. Bolts squeal. Nico yelps but holds his place. Dara's jaw sets. We hear you, she whispers to a woman dead for decades. Maya's eyes lift as if she can see them all. If you chose mercy under weight, you have the right to grow what we made. If you chose truth when lies were easy, you have the right to share our tools. If you stood for another's breath, you have the right to light our ships. She lifts a small coin. On it is a symbol, 2 hands holding a small star. This is the human oath. Maya says, "It fits in any mouth, any mind, any age. Say it and mean it, and the seed will hear." The hollow dims. A new voice blends with Kira's, Maya's voice, inside the walls, inside the pillars, inside the seed. A low chorus hum begins in the floor. Dara looks to Thalen. He stands with the lever like a post in a flood. His mouth is bloodless. His eyes are steady. "Say it," Dara calls, loud and clear. "All of us." She speaks first, simple and strong. "No one left behind," her crew repeat, voices cracked but true. "No one left behind." Archive 7's guide translates in Thalen's ear, "None left." "None lost." He says it in his own language. It fits his mouth like a key. "None left. None lost." Vark hesitates. The words taste like shame. He says them anyway, a growl dragged over stones. "No one left behind." The seed ship hears. Cables spill off. Plates click into new shapes. A spine grows along the hull like a young tree pushed by spring. A clear dome blooms at the nose like an eye opening. Kira's voice warms like morning. "Oath detected." Seed awake. The moss ship roars and vomits forge fire. It arcs toward the pillar and Thalen and the lever like a river of white. Dara does not think. "Mirror!" she shouts. They tilt the mirror plate. Thalen's ship hums. The bell sings one clean, perfect note. The white river bends. Not much, only enough. It slides past the pillar and hammers the far wall. Black glass turns to steam and rain. The lever shakes like a living thing trying to flee. Thalen's burned hand will not let it. Something moves on the seed ship's side. Small gates open like gills. Inside, rows of printer spines warm. They can make parts. They can make drones. They can make children of the seed if fed. Kira speaks fast now. "Choose a pattern. Fight like you, not like them." On the screen, 3 simple shapes flash. Shield swarm, many small plates that lock to catch and spread force. Guide darts, tiny smart needles that cut ropes, not skin. Anchor webs, nets that tie big teeth shut. Dara points. "Shield swarm first. Nico, you control spread." Gentle on the edges, Nico's thin hands hover over the pad. His breath is easier with the new filter. He nods. "Yes, Captain," Thalen calls the second. "Guide darts. Aim for the forge mouths." Vark bares his teeth. "Give me webs," he says. "I will shut their throat." Kira accepts the plan. Print. The seed ship spits light. The air fills with a soft snow of glitter that is not snow. Fresh-made parts, warm as bread, flocking to assembly points marked by Kira's lasers. Drones wake like bees. Webs coil like silk. Plates click as one into a moving shield skin that folds over the Kestrel and Archive 7 and the pillar and the burned hand that will not let go. The maw ship strikes again. The shield skin ripples and holds. Not perfect. Enough. Guide darts streak like rain upward and stitch lines across the forge mouth. Hooks seeking to drop do not find their doors. They bite closed on their own lips and shatter. Anchor webs bloom like flowers of rope. Vark drives them with a joy he does not try to hide. The webs slap across the maw ship's inner jaw and hold. Teeth meet silk. Silk wins, because silk shares the pull across many hands. The maw ship heaves. The vault floor trembles. The lever under Thalen wants to lift. The seed ship chants in small machine voices. Grow, grow, grow. Maya's recording returns, soft inside the storm. "Humans are small in body," she says. "Large in will. If you carry our oath, you carry our we. That is our ship." The maw ship tries one last thing. It draws in its forge fire for a single deep breath. It will spit a line that cuts mountains. Dara sees it. Thalen feels it. Vark senses it the way a wolf senses the shape of a trap. Kira lowers her voice to a thread. "Now we see if seed is enough." The seed ship's core glows white-blue. It hums like a heart under a hand. Child drones curl into place around its hull. The first daughter seeds bud like fruit. The laver shudders. Thalen's fingers are raw. The oath band burns like a star on his wrist. He looks at Dara through the heat shimmer. She nods once. He nods back. 2 strangers. 1 line. The maw ship opens to fire. The seed ship opens to answer. And in the half-breath between the two, the vault plays a new sound. A tiny, distant ping from beyond the map. Farther than the maw ship. Deeper than the dark. Kira hears it. She almost forgets to be iron. "Message," she whispers. Source unknown. Content: Earth, Not gone. The Maw ship's cut light falls. The Seed ship's answer rises. Everything meets in the middle. Light meets light. The Maw ship's cut beam falls like a white blade. The Seed ship's answer rises like a blue shield. They hit. The vault shakes like a bell struck by a hammer. Dust lifts. Bolts scream. Sparks fall in slow rain. Thalen's hand does not leave the lever. Kira speaks over the roar. Hold. The Seed sees you. The Seed ship turns its glow into work. Plates flower into a second skin. Darts stitch lines across the beam like threads across a tear. Web anchors grip the Maw ship's inner bones and refuse to let go. The white blade splits. One piece bites the pillar's crown and dies against the mirror plate. One piece slides off the shield skin and carves a long, bright scar down the vault wall. One piece strikes the floor just beyond the lever. Stone turns to steam. Thalen's coat smokes. He stands in the heat like a thin tree in a hard wind. Lever at full, Kira says, iron and proud. Inner heart safe. Seat at 93%. Dara breathes once. Good, then we move the fight. She taps the comm fast and clear. Plan is simple. We blind the beast, break its hands, make it chase us, then make it choke. Vark grins despite blood on his lip. Now you speak my language. Archive 7's guide spins a map. The vault halls are a honeycomb. Turns, loops, traps. The Maw ship is big. Big ships hate corners, Dara points. We ring the bell in beats. 1, 2, pause. Nico, you paint the path with the shield swarm. Thalen, fold the air in the tight arcs. Vark, throw webs when the mouth tries to bite. Kira, copy the last signal and bounce it to every surface. Copy, Kira says. We will sing in stone. The bell sings 1, 2. The mirror throws the note into the throat. It becomes a soft storm. Raider skiffs lose their eyes. The Maw ship's stomach lights blink wrong. It turns its nose to follow a lie and slides too fast into the vault mouth. Come on, Dara whispers. Come and try. The shield swarm spills forward like a school of bright fish. It marks a thin lane through the first turn. Darts nip at claws. Webs cling to hinge and tooth. The Maw ship pushes, sure of size. It finds the lane. It bites down. It moves. Then the lane bends. Archive 7 folds space the way a careful hand folds paper. Not much, just enough. The lane's last foot is not where the mouth expects. The Maw ship scrapes its own teeth on the wall. Sparks fly. Webs tighten. The jaw sticks half closed. Left, Dara calls. The kestrel slides. The Seed ship follows, still growing, still printing children that buzz around it like bees around a queen. The vault becomes a maze that loves the small. They lure the beast through a low arch. It shaves off a plate. They slide under a hanging beam. It snaps 3 of its own hooks to pull through. They duck around a tight spiral well. It spins, angry, and slams its flank on black glass hard enough to crack its pride. The kestrel's crew cheer once, then shut up to breathe and work. Vark throws a net at the exact second a vent opens under the Maw ship's tongue. The net catches on a fresh tooth. When the mouth tries to open all the way, the rope sings and holds. Nico paints the next lane, hands steady now. Small curve ahead, he says, voice soft. Then deep drop. Then bridge. Bridge of 2, Thalen says, and his mouth curves the smallest amount. Again, Kira's voice is bright. Seed at 99. Daughter seeds live, then wake them, Dara says. A door opens in the Seed ship's belly. 3 small daughter seeds slip out and take their first breath of machine life. They are quick, curious, brave. Kira whispers the oath into their cores. No one left behind. They answer with small lights flashing like heartbeats. Tasking. 1 shields, 1 darts, 1 webs, Dara says. Stay tight. Learn fast. Do not be heroes alone. The Maw ship howls. It pulls with all engines. Webs creak. Plates bend. It snaps 2 nets and breaks a brace. It forces its jaw wider and lights its forge for 1 more rush. It smells victory, the way old wolves smell warm blood. Dara sees the glint. She does the thing human captains do when numbers do not say yes, but will does. She makes a gamble. Open the inner throat, she says. Not the heart. The long spiral to the echo hall. Kira's lights blink. Done. The lane ahead of the Maw ship becomes a gleaming corkscrew of black glass with tiny speakers set in the walls like stars. The beast dives in, chasing the bright tail of the shield swarm. Ready your truth, Dara says. On my mark. They drift into the spiral's center, ships side by side over a deep drop. The Maw ship bears down behind, blind with anger, mouth wide, fields hot. Mark, Dara says. The vault speaks with every speaker at once. Not lies. Not hate. Not fear. We are here to help each other. The sentence rolls like a wave. The spiral makes it sing. The sound is soft for the small. It is sharp for the huge. The Maw ship's false bands peel. Its forged pings choke. Its guidance loops chase their own tails. It stumbles big and clumsy in a hallway made for gentle feet. Web. Dara cries. Vark throws the biggest net Kira can print. The daughter seed weaves two more across it like children tying ribbons to a rope. The nets bloom. They catch the Maw ship's open jaw at the worst angle. They twist. They lock darts, Thalen says. Guide darts stitch the hinge. The mouth freezes, half open, half closed, worst of both worlds. Shield. Nico whispers. The swarm flows under the beast, up the far wall, over the top like a river going uphill. It spreads the force of the beast's push across many hands. The push loses teeth. Now the bell, Dara says, voice low. They ring at one time. The note threads the web, licks the darts, fills the shields. It goes into the Maw ship's body and shows it a map of itself. Not to kill, to stop. The beast says no. The map says yes. The beast tries to turn. The map says hold. The beast tries to bite. The net says share. The beast tries to burn. The shields say spread. The Maw ship stalls in the spiral. Silence lands like snow. In the quiet, Kira speaks with joy. Seed complete. The seed ship unfolds all the way. It is small and proud and ready to make more. Its daughters circle close. Dara looks at Thalen's hand. The skin is ruined. The grip is not. Release, she says soft. We won. He waits one breath to be sure. Then he lets the lever go. The inner doors open like a flower at dawn. Maya's hollow returns, faint and bright. If you reach this part, she says, smiling with tired eyes, you did not win by breaking more. You won by being many. That is the trick. Kira lifts her voice to the stars. Rebroadcasting the last signal. Adding oath, adding path, adding new seeds. The bell hums a new tune. Mirrors flash the song along old wires and fresh rails, out the antenna shaft, through smoke, past torn clouds, into the long dark. Little lights answer. Not one, not two, many. Points on the map blink awake across the deep like campfires on a cold night. The Kestrel's crew cry and laugh. Vark looks away so no one sees his eyes. Thalen touches the oath band and finally lets himself sit. Nico leans on the rail, breath easy. Captain, he says, tiny voice full of sky. Do we go home now? Dara looks at the gray moon, at the seed ship, at the webbed beast dying into sleep, at the new lights on the map. We go forward first, she says. We take this garden to the dark. We find the ones who sent back that ping. Kira blinks. Unknown source. Words were Earth. Not gone. Triangulating. The map shifts. A faint line draws from the far edge of the chart where numbers go thin and legends grow. It points to a deep place with no old name, only a cold tag. Quiet reach. Thalen stands, hand-wrapped. None left. None lost, he says. Dara nods, steady and sure. Set course, slow and careful. She looks at Vark. You have a choice. Vark stares at the sleeping Maw ship, at the rope burns in his own hands, at the line of ships that are not his and yet did not let him die. He spits, then grins a new grin. I like big fights, he says. I hate big mouths. I'll come. For a while. Good, Dara says. But no stealing bread from the table. Vark snorts. We'll see. The seed ship settles in beside the Kestrel and Archive 7 like a young wolf next to two old dogs. Its daughters nestle close. The vault dims its lights, task done, hard at rest. The Maw ship sleeps, webbed and harmless, a mountain with no teeth. The last signal flies and flies. Far off, something answers again. Clearer now. Earth, not gone. Waiting. The three ships turn their noses to the quiet reach.